G'day Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. It's the new recruit watch, and we have Jake Turpin, the Queenslander, the Broncos junior, who played in the Roosters last year. Now, Turpin beat a lot of kids. He's 26 years old. He's still got a lot to prove in the NRL. This is when the hookers and the playmakers start to hit their mark. He's played 75 games of NRL across 2 different clubs. Beat a lot of young playmakers to get in the top 30 position at the Broncos. When Corey Paix got injured, Jake Turpin found himself as the main man to replace Andrew McCulloch. With the Broncos' fortunes and things that happened, they went in another direction. Jake got an opportunity to go down to the Roosters, where he played 15 matches. Made 68 tackles in a game against the Panthers in the 30-6 loss, which the Roosters played all right, to be honest. Outclassed on the field. He can play 80 minutes. He tackles his heart out. His tackle efficiency is 97%, which for such a little guy really is a good stat to have. Obviously, where he lacks is his running game. Doesn't really have a running game, but not all hookers are out there to run. Cameron Smith wasn't a player that ran from dummy half too often. Turpin would be working hard on his attack. I believe he's going to start in New South Wales Cup, and it'll be good for Canterbury to have a full-time hooker playing in New South Wales Cup under the tutelage of Mick Potter. That way, if Marnie is injured or if there's anything like that, we have someone who's ready to play 80 minutes who can come in and do the job in the middle. He's shown he can tackle. He has pretty good ball efficiency, can pass off the deck. He's a out-and-out hooker, which is, as I said, really great for our depth. If our captain and marquee man in Reid Marnie is unable to play for whatever reason, Jake Turpin's going to come in, and hopefully we'll have Jake putting on a lot of pressure on Reid Marnie to actually get that first grade spot, because that's what we want. Competition for spots, people that are proven to be able to play in the NRL. Not many people were excited about the Jake Turpin arriving, but when you go through his stats and actually look at the big picture and watch his games, defensively, he does put in the effort, he puts in the work, he makes a whole bunch of tackles, and that's exactly what you want. As I said, 68 tackles against the Roosters. Round 1 against the Dolphins, he made about 45, something like that. Jake Turpin, gets his opportunity at Canterbury now. He gets to be a player that can come in and, fill a hole if need be, but also really press hard for a spot within our top 17. I don't think they'll use him as the utility unless they change tact, meaning, Marnie's more of an 80-minute player. Do they move towards having a two hooker rotation, or do they continue to try and go with that sort of small ball playing lock in the middle and rotate them through more minutes on the field? That'll be something we'll need to see and work out. But I think Jake Turpin, having him there in New South Wales Cup is going to boost to them. It's going to give them some stability. It's going to allow us to have a ready-made 80-minute hooker to replace Marnie if need be. And I think it's very good for our depth and something we really haven't had. I was sort of hoping Jeremy Marshall-King would stick around when Reid Marnie was coming into the club. But that didn't happen. Having 2 hookers is a really, really good thing. They did hire a young fella, Brandon Clark, last year, but that just didn't work out for him and for the Dogs. There's young Ryan Gray, who tries his heart out. But when you're talking about a player, an out-and-out hooker who's got a lot of potential, as I said, beat a lot of young Broncos playmakers to that top 30 spot, and had some really good, strong games for the Broncos, even though they didn't perform up to expectation and went in a different direction in the end. Jake Turpin gets his opportunity at the Bulldogs now to really contribute to our side, and as I said, be that ready-made replacement should Reid Marnie not be able to play any sort of games. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the interaction. Tell me what you think about Jake Turpin. but the stats show that he's pretty good defensively. He needs to work on that running game. Thanks, guys.